what's up guys? Welcome to the Wanderlost vlog. My name is Manfra and it is Christmas time. So I want to just tell you guys a little bit about what I'm grateful for this Christmas. I'm grateful for all of the friends that have allowed Wanderlost to become a reality. My friend Chris Hughes, who is so invaluable with all of his producing that he does for me, setting up interviews and just talking over ideas. My good friend Stephen Lucy, that I've known since we were like 7 years old and we were playing baseball together. He's my cameraman, he's great. Also my girlfriend Paola, she's so supportive and she's always pushing me to be the best that I can, and she's so supportive of all the documentaries and of all the projects that I'm working on. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's Christmas, you want to relax, you want to open up gifts and chill out. So I'm just going to jump into an interview that we did for our new documentary, Tiny Homes. We talked to a woman named Joan Amaral. She is a Buddhist priest and she teaches Zen meditation. She originally was practicing Buddhism and Zen meditation in San Francisco, and now she's moved back to the East Coast and she's teaching it in Beverly, Massachusetts at her Zen Center. So we're going to head over to Beverly, we're going to talk to Joan at her Zen Center, we're going to talk to her about this idea of minimalism, about cutting away all the extra stuff and just breaking everything down into its basics to cut at the heart of what really makes us happy and what makes us feel whole on this planet, and about the human experience and how we reconnect with ourselves. And I think a lot of those things that she can answer through Buddhism and Zen meditation, people are also looking for the same answers by living in a tiny house and living simply. So let's go check that out.
Well, first of all, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. It's really an honor to have you here today to help us to illuminate what it is that we're doing. You know, we just sort of do it, and then we learn more deeply what is this practice that we're doing, which is an ancient practice. So its longevity speaks to something of value. But still, how is it relevant to us? So that's where you come in, where you illuminate for us how this is helpful at this particular time and place to engage in this kind of practice. Personally, I arrived at San Francisco Zen Center on a rainy Saturday in 1998. Were you born then?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I was 5, but I was...
Oh, but you were here. Okay. I was a dancer, I was a choreographer in San Francisco, modern dance. So all about the body and about having another look at reality, not buying into the status quo version, valuing investigation and inquiry, exploration, valuing aesthetics, valuing experiencing life from the body's point of view, valuing discipline. So with that backdrop, someone introduced me to San Francisco Zen Center, and I had just turned 30, and it was just before the year 2000, and apocalypse was on my mind. And I remember thinking, because you remember that? Did you know? Did you guys know at 5? Yeah. Y2K, and we're all going to just fall off the edge of reality, or what's going to happen? And I, being Portuguese, you know, I do get apocalyptic, very, you know, dramatic and emotional, and so I had the thought, where do I want to be if the world's going to end? And I realized I didn't want to be alone. I wasn't interested in getting married. I was interested in community, but not just some, you know, diffuse kind of community. An intentional community is what it's been called traditionally. Having a sense of a purpose beyond myself. Being engaged with other people, the opposite of isolation. First of all, I love being asked these questions. I really do feel contact with others allows bringing forth the Dharma. You can't make this stuff up on your own. You can't. In our tradition, the Mahayana tradition, the Bodhisattva way, it's about being with people. So what's rewarding to me is being so pleasantly kind of surprised at how people, especially Americans, are willing to go into what's essentially a consumption, production free zone. Whoa! And just sit down, and hit zero. Like just this neutral, this being. Neutral, I don't mean neutral like you don't feel anything. I mean neutral like, this long spawning is not getting, not wanting, not, this acquisitiveness, but not averting from, just being with, just meeting. So it's very satisfying for me to see how people respond, and especially working with teenagers who I feel are such truth tellers. They just want to get in there and seeing how all this energy is released when there's no longer pushing away or masking. There's just, okay, what is it? So I find that deeply connecting. I also love in Zen practice that 95-year-olds can be deep Dharma friends with 19-year-olds. So it cuts across all kinds of lines, racial, economic, social. This meditation is just a ground leveler of all that. Of just, we've all got bodies. Just being in these bodies, these breathing, sensing bodies with each other. That's very satisfying to me. It's simple. I was thinking about, I've been talking about space. And in a tiny home, there isn't much space. Actually, well, it's contained. So there's a bunch of things happening there. In Zen, we talk about the container, how supportive that is to feel the container. If there's too much space, too much freedom, too much choice, it's kind of a hell realm. And I think about people, sometimes with big houses, and they're just wandering around like ghosts in their own houses. They're not really homes, So there isn't like a container. It's just this kind of vast space of just wandering that supports wandering, not focus, concentrated, experiencing, actually feeling, your experience. But the other thing I think about is when I was living in that cabin at Tassajara Monastery, I had a cabin that was very small. It doesn't really qualify as tiny, but it was just one little notch above tiny. It fit my twin shigibutan, the bed, and it had a built-in bookshelf. And it had about this much room of tatami before the door, so there wasn't a whole lot of space, but it was just me in there. And what I did in there was I slept, and I changed clothes, and I would study. So, sitting in Seizen, just studying at a little desk. And it was very contained living. This was monastic practice. So if I wanted to do anything else, I'd have to go outside, which meant interaction. So this fluidity of inside and outside, I couldn't really isolate in a way, So I interacted with the outer world, and it was more fluid, this movement in and out. Sometimes I feel people with big homes, they sort of barricade themselves in there.
All right, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a really awesome holiday season. Be sure to stay updated with us on social media by checking out the links in the description below. And just have an awesome, awesome holiday. And I'm going to see you guys with Wanderlost in 2016. So stay tuned. Music up.